think one thing that I'm trying to test would be how to manipulate AI. Like I said earlier, it's really important to know where AI pulls its information from and how you can put your information on there.
All right, what's up, everyone? I hope you all are doing amazing. And today is week of the Sehgal show. We are going to interview someone who's pretty well known in the SEO for a long time. We are going to interview none other than Craig Campbell. He's a UK-based SEO expert. He started his SEO journey over 2 decades ago and is one of the leading experts in the space currently. He founded Craig Campbell's SEO, and Craig regularly buys and sells digital assets, offer a lot of services, advises via YouTube, and is known for being an affiliate marketer. So we're gonna hear the whole story of how Craig built up this huge empire using SEO, doing affiliate marketing and all. So without any further ado, let's welcome Craig Campbell to our show today. Hey, Craig. Let's see, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Craig, first.
No worries, it's a pleasure to be here, mate.
Absolutely. So, Craig, I want to touch base with the journey. And I'm going to start with prior to doing this SEO, the affiliate marketing that you have built up this huge empire. What was Craig doing before all this started?
So prior to doing this, I had just left school. So I get into SEO round about the age of 21, but prior to leaving school at 16, I worked in sales, I worked in Burger King, I worked in call centers. I had a few various different jobs. I didn't really know what I wanted to do in life, is the honest answer. I didn't have any plans. I didn't have any aspirations to become a doctor or anything. I wasn't thinking about university or anything. I just left school, went straight out to work and tried a few different jobs, and they weren't really for me.
Awesome. Which year was it when you actually jumped into this? You got introduced to this SEO world?
So it would have been. I started. So I didn't actually start out as an SEO. I got engrossed in web design at the start. So round about the year 2000, I started to mess around with web design, and I probably done that for about a year and a half, and then thought I'm really not good at web design. Let's look into what other opportunities are out there, and marketing of a website was the next best thing. And it wasn't known as SEO as it is today, but people were doing things, and I was learning on forums. We didn't have YouTube or Facebook or anything to learn from other people. It was all kind of forum based. So I started to look at forums and try to understand how you market a website, because I was quite interested in the internet, because it was quite a new thing. Certainly for me in the UK, it was new around about that time. So I was interested in the internet, and 20 odd years later, I'm still hanging on in there, trying to earn money from the internet. So yeah, it's been a weird journey, but yeah, started off as a really bad web designer, is the how I got into it, and then decided that wasn't really for me as well.
And did you get into any course to start learning that, or was it like going on Google, search how to make money online, and then you found some option related to it, and then you okay, let's choose this path. Let's start with this.
Nah, there wasn't a course as such. It was all just forums. So old traditional forums where people would try and tell you what they were doing to make money online and what they were doing to optimize their website. That is pretty much all there was. There was no gurus out there sharing how to make money online. It was really, really very, very different. There was a few books that were out there at the time, and forums. That was all there was to try and learn.
Gotcha, gotcha. And over this last more than 20 years, 2 decades over that, you have seen this whole space getting evolutionized with like from traditional to modern SEO and all that shift. What have you witnessed? Like, how are you seeing it as, okay, that was the thing before, and now this is the thing now?
I mean, when I started out, things were a hell of a lot easier to rank a website. Google has gotten cleverer, technology has got better, more and more people are doing it. But, you know, a lot of things have changed, but they haven't changed. So it's always been content and links, back from day dot. However, the type of content, the type of links, obviously you've got site speed, you've got EAT or EEAT. You've got so many other things that have all been added on to the top of what SEO is. So things have massively evolved and things have become massively more competitive. But it's not that different in all honesty. I think learning SEO now is a hell of a lot easier than it was back then. Because you'll get more videos, more courses, more people to look up to. So I think things have got easier in terms of getting information, but equally everyone is doing some form of SEO or digital marketing, and the game has just got a lot harder. Whereas previously, there wasn't that many people into it, so it's a weird kind of transition to where we are now. But I think it's always good to see things evolve. It's always good to see technology evolve, and even AI. How can we utilize AI in our day-to-day marketing strategy? So I think it's all for the best. But yeah, it has been a massive amount of change, but some of the core fundamentals are still pretty much the same.
Right, makes sense. And as you touch base on the AI specifically, so what are the pros and cons that you see yet using AI with content? Like when Google is not even preferring AI content, especially blogs are affected. What's your take on that?
So I have never been a huge fan of AI content as such, purely because I always felt that Google would catch up with it and discard it, so to speak. I mean, I love the thought of speeding up your process using AI. And I like using AI for other parts of digital marketing, but I just think selfishly from an SEO perspective, we can't do it. We cannot just use AI and put it onto a website. It's not there yet. It's easily detectable, and Google doesn't like it. That I think that much is pretty clear. And as much as I'd love to cheat and I'd love to do things very quickly, it just doesn't work. And for me, it makes sense as to why it doesn't work, but does it help us speed up our process? Can we use AI to even do the skeleton of an article and then humanly modify it and tweak it and run it through, Page Optimizer Pro or Surfer? Of course we can. I think it's what you do with the AI content is the most important thing. And I think it does help speed up the process massively. But again, as an SEO, I would still strongly suggest that you do everything else over on top of that, the human editing, optimization, and everything else. And then you've got a chance of it working.
Right, that makes sense. And how much you personally use AI in your like, or how much percentage of weightage it carries, especially in your world or with your business? If you want to give it in percentage form, like this percentage, I make sure that I have to dependent on this AI speeds up the process, as you say, and all. How do you see that? And how
I
much you
mean,
trust on it?
I don't really trust AI that much. In terms of trust, if we put things into AI and ask it questions, it regularly comes back with the wrong information. So, and certainly in terms of trust, it's not to be trusted. We test a lot of different things, and I know that AI pulls information from third party websites that are out there. So that's quite easy to manipulate, you know, AI content. So is it going to be wholly accurate? Absolutely not. And I think, that's again something that I will never ever trust. It is not going to be wholly accurate because of where AI gets its information from. And therefore, it can't be trusted 100%. So, there's flaws within the system. However, to answer the first part of your question, how much can you rely on AI? I still think, it does very, very good jobs at, doing research, giving you the kind of basis of an article, and things like that. So I think it can be utilized in a fairly big way. But fact checking, 100%, you cannot trust it. It's not factually correct, and can easily manipulated. If I wanted to make sure that, if I put your name in to AI, tell me more about Sahil, Sehgal. All I need to do is really place a few articles on high authority websites, and it's going to, it's going to disambiguate what it says about you. I can basically have whatever I want um, coming out of AI if I really wanted to. So it's scary. It's scary at the same time. How much it can be manipulated, and until that is resolved, and I don't know how they would resolve that because AI's got to get the information from somewhere. Then I think the trust factor is very, very it's a thing that you have to consider. So yeah, just be very careful when you come to facts, figures, and important information.
Then I think authenticity is also one of the areas, like, I mean, that is affected. Like, as you said, you can just post articles on something and then you go and search about that particular keyword, and because it's going to fetch up from that information which you just uploaded. That's all this knows. Like, it's like a baby has got trained on this particular toy to play with, and that's the only thing they know. And then they're like, okay, I'm an expert in this, or I know about this. But in reality, is it like just how you programmed the toy?
Yeah.
That's just right.
Um, so I think that's the stage we're at just
That's
now
true.
with AI. We can use certain tools like Perplexity, and it will show you the citations of where that information's been pulled from. It does look to LinkedIn, it does look to various other websites, and ChatGPT even cites certain sources as well. So that's where it becomes very sketchy.
Right. Right. I get that. Yeah, absolutely. It makes so much sense. And so, and I want to touch more base on this. You have developed this SEO skill over the years now, decades. Uh, if people say that SEO is slow, it takes time, even to build a business, it's really hard. You have done an incredible job in that, building a huge empire. So, what are the realistic expectations and evolution of someone who is trying to master the skill of SEO that they should keep in mind?
I think you do, like you say, SEO takes time. It's not done overnight. Nothing that is worth doing happens overnight anyway. Um, you've got competition out there. There's people ahead of you, and you have to be able to, as a new business, go out there. You've got to set yourself up, and then you've got to try and beat someone who may have 5 or 10 years more time online. Now, I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's unrealistic to think that that can be done in month 1, 2, or 3. And I think setting expectations for yourself and for clients, if you choose to work with clients, you have no God given right to walk onto page one and dominate. Absolutely none whatsoever. There's 10 other people who are going to fight you tooth and nail for that position. And if you're not spending enough time, whether that be creating content, whether that be, building links, whether that be doing on page, whether that be doing social signals, whether that be doing other offline marketing, pay per click, whatever, you are, you're not going to win. If someone is getting more traffic than you, has got more exposure than you, is getting more clicks and engagement than you, they are likely to always win. So you have to hit the ground with a realistic budget to try and achieve those expectations as well. You cannot just put up a website, hope that Google comes and crawls it, and all of a sudden, bing, you're up at the, up in on page one. There's so many other things that Google are looking for in order to put you above someone who's already doing well and making lots of money. And that does also count all of those engagement signals that person's got, all the brand awareness, all of the social media and everything else. So it's a big, big, big job. Especially if you're starting out from scratch, and that is where time and potentially budget come into play. And I'm not saying it's a money wins all game. There's skills, there's expertise, there's weak areas on a lot of websites. I'm sure I could audit your website and say, I could do that better, I could do that better. Same with my website. So, there's always gaps in the market, and it's up to you to figure your way into it. But you have to be realistic. These people who think it can be done overnight are delusional. And even, from my own perspective, building up a personal brand, I've spoke at conferences all over the world for the last 10 years to build up that reputation. There's a lot of time, effort, money, and everything else that's went into that to get that level of success. And if you think you're going to just come in and be able to beat that by throwing up, a cheap WordPress template, you're fighting a real losing battle there. So you have to spend money on resources, training, and be realistic with your expectation. Everything else is out there. We can look at the competitors' pages and we can do better. We can analyze it, we can optimize better. There's tools to help us with that. We can get the same, if not more, links, but you need to do everything else surrounding that as well. And that is going to give you a good chance of success. And the biggest failures I see is people giving up too early or not spending enough resources on it.
Right. I love that. It makes so much sense. And so when it's what's your advice for someone who's trying to build a business, that they are trying to build their own SEO agency and want to make that consistent and profitable income? Because I've known a lot of personally know a lot of agencies who are broken this, as you said, they don't remain consistent or they quit at early stage. How to make that good money with SEO agency consistent and profitable?
I think, it all comes down to the structure, the processes within the agency. I think when you take on clients, it's easy to get 5 clients. Where it really starts to get troublesome is when you get 10 clients or 20 clients. How do you service that? Obviously, you need more staff. Those staff need training, processes, and guidance. But also, another reason where I see things failing would be not charging enough as an agency owner. You're not charging enough to do the job properly, and in turn, your clients turn and burn, and then you're in the vicious cycle of, you get 3 new clients every month, but 3 drop off. So, building up an agency, you need to have the right structure, the right processes. You also need to be charging the right money, and time management, and with the clients, and also managing the clients' expectations are also big parts of the process as well, because clients do think that SEO can happen in a month or two, regardless of what you say to them. they will expect results after month 2 or month 3. I've seen it with my own eyes. So I think, just really hammering home those expectations, and making sure that the processes and the basic fundamentals are being done, then you stand a very good chance of having a successful agency.
Right, right. And and in your journey, like I have multiple layers of questions in this. What's the biggest thing SEO did for you, if you say, which you never imagined, and it's like, wow, I never thought about that. This would SEO would give me, I don't know, the conference stages that you're doing and all the big clients that you have worked with.
I mean, SEO has given me a lot of different things. It's given me a lot of money to then reinvest into other businesses. Two, it's given me uh, the ability to build a personal brand, which I never thought I would do. Three, doing public speaking. I never thought I would do it, but doing SEO has led me down a path where I now speak on stages telling other people some of the experiences that I've had on my journey, which hopefully help them. So it's given me a hell of a lot. It's given me a lot of good stuff, also given me a lot of bad stuff. It's given me a lot of stress. I've had multiple business failures, uh, but that's all part of the overall apprenticeship. You can't win everything that you try, and I have failed as multiple times with multiple businesses, because I either didn't put enough money or enough time into it, essentially, is why it failed. So again, you learn, as you go. But the opportunities, I never set out to become an SEO speaker or a personal brand or an agency owner. I've been all of those, and I never really set out to be any one of those. It leads you down a path where you can make money or you can get rankings online. It leads to money. It leads to exposure. It leads to other things. And obviously, I've chosen different paths to go down, which I am forever grateful for, because if I wasn't doing this, I would dread to think what dead end job I would be in. So it's done a lot for me. That's for sure.
Glad you touched base on the part where you talked about the stress, the challenges, and all. Any particular unique challenge that you face you want to share with our listeners, where like, okay, this was the biggest one. Maybe sometimes we have this thought like, okay, is it for me? Should I continue doing it? Should I drop off? Should I change off this thing?
Um,
Any unique one?
I had an agency, and when I was building up that agency, I wasn't charging enough. I had more staff than I needed to have. The staff weren't trained properly, so weren't doing a good job. And I had a big ego and couldn't be told that I was doing wrong. Uh, so the combination of all of that ultimately led to failure of the business. The business ran out of money, it ran out of steam. We had to get rid of all the staff, had to let all the clients move on to other places, and the business was dissolved. And that can be quite stressful. And then obviously in hindsight, you look back and say, that was wrong, that was wrong, that was wrong, that was wrong. And obviously I'm now able to advise other people, you have to have processes, you have to charge properly, you have to do this, you have to do that, because these were all things I wasn't doing properly. And I didn't know that I wasn't doing it properly because it was my first time running an agency. So, you can be critical of yourself if you want to be, but I didn't know I was doing wrong. I was trying my best to be a success, but ultimately it wasn't good enough. And I was a failure in that particular instance. But it's how you come back from that is the most important thing. And I've had 7 companies or 8 companies that have been dissolved. Uh, so I have failed as much as I've won. But again, I think what you take from those failures is going to make the next one have more chance of success.
So right, it makes sense. In so many lessons that you have learned, man. Glad you have lived this journey, and now people are learning. I know you have a lot of programs, courses. Also, I was looking at your website. What are the best resources that you wanna suggest? Let's say to a company, to an individual who are on a budget, they want to do SEO, but they have limited resources. Or you can share your top 3 actionable tips also to improve their personal branding or to their online visibility, or any resource that you want to share.
I mean, I've got a YouTube channel which covers anything really when it comes to SEO, whether that be local SEO, whether that be building a brand, whether that be building your knowledge panel. Everything's on there. I've got 1,200 videos on there, which is completely free. I also offer weekly question and answer sessions on there. Again, completely free for people to learn from. So YouTube is the best place if you want free information. I also do have a private mastermind where I have 2 sessions a week talking to agency owners or individuals who are doing SEO. And that is slightly more personalized. It's in a group session, but it's only £69 a month, and you get to request sessions. If you're shit at selling, we can do a session on how to sell better, whatever it may be. So again, I try and help people there, but there is a small cost to that, but it's still massively valuable for money. But like anyone, there's a million other guys out there doing it. There's a lot of people who have courses out there which you can pay for. I personally chose not to do paid courses because I don't need to do paid courses. I've chosen to build a personal brand and give the information away for free on YouTube. So that's all I can really advise. Other people have got courses where they'll charge you money, and I'm sure they're very, very valuable as well. But it depends on who you're learning from, and I think there's that many people out there giving that much different information out. It can be very confusing. So all I would really advise to other people would be try and focus on 1 or 2 people to learn from, because otherwise you're going to get different information. And I'll be clear, there is a number of different ways to do SEO, and you can all get the same result. So it depends on the style, the strategy, and whether you like the person. I would go down that route, and try and get people who give out up to date information. I think there's a lot of people learning from courses that are dated, or are talking about strategies and tactics that maybe used to work 3 years ago but no longer work. So these are some of the tips that you've got to look out for when trying to learn SEO. But on top of that, I don't know what else I can really add, in terms of important things. I think you've got to kind of niche down. You can focus on either map listings and trying to drive traffic from that prior to growing and evolving as an SEO. I think you can really niche down in the SEO space. You don't have to become a general overall SEO like me. It's taken me a long, long time to get all the skills and the experience I've got. Can you just become a link builder? Can you just become an on-page guy? Can you become a tech guy? Of course you can. So maybe one piece of advice is try not learn everything all at once. Try and learn one part and then learn another part, another part, another part, and then you may become a full, all-round SEO. I think too many people are trying to learn everything all at once, and it becomes massively confusing.
Right, right. Thanks for sharing that. And I'll also drop the link of your YouTube channel into the show notes definitely here for people who want to learn that thing. Uh, One part we didn't touch base on it yet is about affiliate marketing. So SEO with, yeah, you do affiliate marketing as well. Uh, how was that started? Is it like when you were doing SEO and then you came pumped into this affiliate marketing along with that, or was it a part of the plan prior to that as well when you started SEO? What's your journey with that?
So when I had the agency that was failing, the guy that I used to follow was a guy called Matthew Woodward. He's still in the SEO space. He's quite quiet these days. However, he was an affiliate marketer. He didn't have an agency at the time. And when I was doing the agency thing, I was just like, fuck, this is really hard. And I looked to Matthew and I thought, that is the model that I like. I like what he's doing. I like that he can promote products and make a lot of affiliate money. I like the he didn't have to manage client expectations. He didn't have to report to clients. And I thought that's a real that's what I want to be. So that's where I went down the affiliate route and tried to build a brand and promote products and stuff like that. And obviously I've had Amazon affiliate websites. I've got other, I've done affiliate in so many different niches now. So I'd done that relatively well. And yeah, it was all because of Matthew Woodward and my struggles with the agency. I was just like, yeah, there got to be an easier way to rank in a website and making some money without all the headache in the middle. So that was affiliate marketing, and it still works very well to this day. I still do affiliate marketing even now. So it's been probably the single most the best decision that I probably made throughout my SEO career was going from dealing with clients to affiliate marketing.
Good shout out to Matthew, first of all. We got to get you introduced to that word. And like, is it like more of now? Do you consider it as like a passive money as well? What is it bringing? SEO combined with affiliate marketing?
It's I mean, it's certainly not passive. Let me tell you that. A lot of people have this perception that affiliate is passive. There's still a lot of time, effort, money that has to go into either ranking the website or growing an audience. Now, I do a lot of affiliate through my YouTube, my social media, my mailing list, and everything else. But it's not passive. I have got to work really, really, really hard to build up that audience in order to be able to sell. So it's certainly by no means it kind of can be passive now. Certainly not as hard for me as it would be for someone who is trying to get into this with no mailing list and no followers. But I had to work hard to build all of that up. And as I say, 10 years speaking at conferences, 10 years of putting free information out there, years and years and years of sitting on YouTube every week, churning out video after video after video. So it's by no means passive, I think. And that's a perception that a lot of people think it is. It's certainly not. It's certainly not for me. I've had to put a lot of time and effort into making all of that happen. So it's certainly passive is not the word I would use.
Like, glad we cleared this out. It is a perception. It was a perception in my mind as well. Like, people think is like, okay, you made a content, you know the master of the game of SEO now. You just drop the link, and then if that link has a subscription MRR, something related to it, even then you can make every month some kind of income. Um, it involves time, efforts. It involves that even um, to evolve with how the product is evolving and how the time is changing, all that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. What are the future trends that you see in SEO or your developments that you foresee that will shaping the industry in the upcoming years, and how maybe businesses can prepare for these things, or how are you preparing it?
I think one thing that I'm trying to test would be how to manipulate AI. Like I said earlier, it's really important to know where AI pulls its information from and how you can put your information on there, because Google have launched SGE, Search Generative Experience. And I think the future is quite clearly going to involve some form of AI when it comes to overall search results. Now, if that's going to be the case, then we as SEOs need to learn how to manipulate AI the same way that as SEOs we learned how to manipulate content, backlinks, and everything else previously. I do see that changing to potentially optimizing for AI, if you like. And I think trying to learn, trying to test, try to understand how all of that works is something that, as an SEO, you really should be looking into going forward, because it's scary how quick AI has came upon us and how quick the 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 quality of AI is changing at. So I think Google is clearly going to give out AI search results, and what will we be optimizing for in the future? Is it going to be optimizing to try and get our products or services placed into those AI results? Of course it is, and that is where I think the short term focus should be on, trying to understand that. Don't sit there and hope that Google are going to go backwards and start relying on your content heavy website. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's now more important than ever to try and build a personal brand, make sure people know who you are as well. Whether you're an SEO or whether you're a different business, I think building that brand is important. To get online traffic, you only have to look at TikTok, Instagram, and various other platforms to see how businesses in general are utilizing these platforms to promote and sell their products or services. And I think gone are the days where you can just solely rely on a website with thousands of pages on it ranking for every single search term. I think you've got to optimize everything and build a brand is the single most important thing you guys can do. And so I think the game is going to change, and how quickly that changes is only God knows the answer to that, or Google. So yeah, that's how I see it though.
That's beautiful. I love that. And you have so many gold nuggets, man. Thank you so much for sharing. Where can listeners more find about you, your business, apart from YouTube channel you mentioned? So I'll be dropping that link. Any other place?
You can go to my website, which is craigcampbellseo.com, or if you just search for Craig Campbell SEO on any social media platform, you'll see me on most of the platforms that are out there as well.
Absolutely. Yes, you guys will be on the Google at the top. Love that. Thank you so much, Craig, for this time. And for people who are watching, listening to us, so that was Craig Campbell sharing his journey about SEO, how he built up his business around it over this more than 20 years of experience. Go check out his YouTube channel. Go check out all the stuff, his website as well. I'll be dropping in the show notes too. Thank you so much, Craig, once again for coming on, sharing this valuable advice. It was awesome to have you again. We'll be catching up with another episode very soon. Till then, take care. Bye, everyone.